Good afternoon to you, Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com. It is about 4:45 p.m. Eastern Time, and let's take a look at what the latest is on Tropical Storm Cindy. The latest advisory package coming out 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time, or the 5 p.m. package on the East Coast. The National Hurricane Center issues these advisories. The main advisories every 6 hours, so it'll be 5 p.m. and 11 p.m., 5 a.m. and 11 a.m., and then intermediate advisories every 3 hours between those. Does that make sense? I hope it does. But this is the 4 o'clock Central Time update, and we can see here the latest statistics. Winds are 50 miles per hour. That's going to be confined to squally areas. It's not all over the place. And the movement is northwest at 9 miles per hour. And the air pressure continues to drop ever so slightly to 994 millibars. If we look at the latest satellite animation of Cindy this afternoon in the Gulf of Mexico, you noticed a few things here. First, still very much void of deep convection around these weird swirls inside the larger center of circulation, this area of spin or vorticity that I talk about. That is pretty vigorous, but the deeper thunderstorms, which we can see over here on the northwest side, tucked up in here near the coast of Texas and Louisiana, that's the only area where those are occurring right now. And so this just isn't going to have an opportunity to strengthen. And you can tell it's been a long day, which is good news in terms of the wind perspective, certainly. But the other thing I want to point out, look at this massive slug of moisture heading up towards the Gulf Coast here on the eastern side of this circulation. These rain bands are coming in and they're dropping copious amounts of rain, and they are producing tornadoes. Over here in that right front quadrant, usually the tornadoes will occur away from the center of circulation, even several hundred miles away. And we're seeing that here on this right front quadrant of the storm. These cells, almost like little supercells, that come in off the Gulf of Mexico, and this is tapped all the way down into the northwest Caribbean Sea. So we're talking about a lot of moisture and a lot of energy still coming in, wrapping around this system, and as such, very heavy rainfall across this region. And unfortunately, we have had some tornadoes today, and that's going to continue through tonight. Looking at the latest radar, I can point this out to you. Here's that band coming in off the Gulf of Mexico, and these red polygons here are the tornado warnings. They come and go because these systems are very quick to evolve and then devolve. So they'll pop up and then they will pop down and dwindle away very quickly. This is the I-10 corridor right through here, going through Pensacola and then working its way across Mobile, Alabama, and then into Mississippi. So if you're traveling along this route, or you know people that have to for business or otherwise, please let them know to really be on the lookout for these heavy rain squalls. Not everybody's going to use radar scope and be as in tune with the weather as us weather geeks do, like myself. And so it's important when you encounter these heavy, heavy downpours, and some of these rain bands can bring blinding rain and wind, you got to slow down, okay? Let's don't have any fatalities on the highways because of Cindy and the rainfall and people just not using common sense. As far as the tornado threat, keep your NOAA weather radio on, keep your smartphone on and the volume up overnight so that you get those alerts, and that way you can at least look and see what the situation is and take cover if you need to. Usually these are short-lived and not very strong, but you never know when something's going to hit your area and it could have a big impact on you. So we have a little bit more time to go here, another day, and then this will be inland over the southwest Louisiana coast. In fact, before I sign off, let's see if the graphic has updated. Sometimes the public information will come out, the text products, and then the graphic updates later. Let me just take a peek here before I sign off. And is it the latest one? The answer is yes. Okay, so here we go. So this is good. We'll finish with this. You can see again the wind field, not very prevalent, not very large. And then this is forecast to make landfall right here along the Sabine River at the Sabine Pass area. So we're talking about the center of the circulation. And I'm going to go back to this satellite picture one more time. The center of circulation, somewhere in here is the geographic center, or the meteorological center, whatever you want to call it. and that's supposed to cross right up here by tomorrow morning sometime. Well, you can clearly see the little dot that I've drawn there where the center would be does not represent where these large clusters of storms are, nor what's happening over here, for example. So don't worry about the center so much. Keep your eyes to the sky. Common sense, like I said, the smartphone, the NOAA weather radios. You got to get through tonight. Residents down here along the Gulf Coast, and then this will be inland, and I'll talk about what to expect from there tomorrow as we get more data from the Weather Prediction Center on potential rain threat and severe weather information from the Storm Prediction Center. So even when this is inland, this isn't over. All right, that is it for me for today. I'm going to try to get some better sleep tonight. I'm in Mississippi. I set up a couple of cameras. Those have been posted on Twitter. They're also on YouTube. If you go to @HurricaneTrack on Twitter or YouTube, just search HurricaneTrack, Hurricane TRACK, or simply Tropical Storm Cindy live coverage. You'll find the feed, and it's going to stay up through tonight. Did some good testing of equipment and experimenting with some social media aspects of YouTube Live especially, and we want to be ready for when something bigger and meaner comes along, which, this season looks like that might just be the case somewhere. All right, have a great rest of your evening. Stay safe out there. I'll do the same here. I'm Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com, reporting from Gulfport, Mississippi. I'll have more for you tomorrow morning.